It is a Sunday afternoon, and time for Sunday afternoon matinee hockey. The final game of the regular season for both the Miami RedHawks and the Western Michigan Broncos on the ice this afternoon here from Steve Cady Arena in Oxford, Ohio. Alongside Jack Schmelzinger, Patrick Geshan with you here in this regular season finale for both of these teams. And Jack, after the RedHawks falling on the road to Western Michigan on Friday, a 5-2 loss at Lawson Ice Arena. Time for this Miami team to try to gain some confidence here before the playoffs.
Absolutely, and all 8 teams in the conference are going to Grand Forks in 2 weeks to play for the NCHC title. So if they can win this one, that's a big confidence booster, and anything can happen in a one-game series, which is what they're going to be playing down in North Dakota.
Exactly. Western Michigan, for confidence in this game, really needs to get the special teams going. They were 3 for 4 on the power play in the win on Friday against Miami. That's going to be something that Western Michigan will look for success and grab the sweep this afternoon.
Absolutely, and just like we talked about with St. Cloud State 2 weekends ago, this team is near the top of the nation in power play conversion percentage, 4th, even higher than St. Cloud State. So the RedHawks are really going to have to focus on staying out of the box tonight.
Right. Miami and Western Michigan on the ice this afternoon. Our starting lineup's happening now, and followed by our national anthem, and then puck drop here in Oxford will join the Goggin Ice Center public address. Scott Schreiber is the announcer.
The head coach of the Broncos is Andy Murray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your Miami RedHawks. Starting today in goal, the freshman from Hindå, Sweden, number 32, Ludvig Pearson. Starting in left defense is a senior coming from Long Beach, California, number 11, Rourke Russell. At right defense, a senior from Monroe, Michigan, number 6, Alec Mahalan. Starting in left wing today, a senior from Phoenix, Arizona, it's number 67, Phil Nice. Your center is the senior from Gaylord, Michigan, number 39, Casey Gillig. And starting at right wing, a sophomore out of Novi, Michigan, wearing number 12, John Sladek. And the rest of your Miami RedHawks. Director of Hockey Operations, Jimmy Spratt. The RedHawks are coached by associate head coaches Eric Rude and Barry Schutte. And in his second season at the helm of Miami Ice Hockey is head coach Chris Bergeron. The officials are assigned for today's game by the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. Our referees today are Brian Aaron and Andy Thackaberry. The linesmen are Eric Frank and Troy Merritt. And now, ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise, remove your hats, and join us for the playing of our national anthem.
Starting lineups and national anthem are taken care of here inside Steve Cady Arena ahead of Miami and Western Michigan. Broncos starting netminder today is Brandon Bussey, sophomore, 6'4", 215, out of Sound Beach, New York. Played his junior hockey with the Muskegon Lumberjacks. And for Bussey, just 2 appearances on the year, 2.09 goals against, .906 save percentage, 1-0-0 record, playing his 37th game of his career today. RedHawks go with Ludwig Pearson. He is okay after getting taken out in the Friday game against Western Michigan. He was run over by a few Broncos in the second period. Grant Valentine came in to replace him, but Pearson does get the start today for the RedHawks. The freshman out of Hindus, Sweden, 6'1", 184, 5'9", record, making his 17th start of the year. 2.35 goals against, .932 save percentage for Ludwig Pearson.
And definitely glad to see that he's okay. He's been probably the best player on Miami's hockey team this year. The December NCHC goalie of the month has really been impressive in his freshman season.
Right. So our referees today are Brian Aaron and Andy Thackenberry. The linesmen are Troy Merritt and Eric Frank. As the Broncos will move right to left here in our first period. They're wearing their away black uniforms with the tan numbers on the back. Western Michigan is across the front in tan. And for Miami, it is the stripped uniforms. And I made sure I put in my request that they wore those in this game today. Strip uniforms, the white jersey with the stripes down this side. Miami across the front in script. It's red. And then, of course, the name and number on the back in red as well. So a catastrophe here early in the game. They mistimed everything, the start of this one, as we're about a minute and 40 away from puck drop, and this game is nationally televised, so both teams are waiting right now to just get going. But the referees came out like 3 minutes before they were supposed to, and then the teams came out 2 or 3 minutes before they were supposed to. So we wrapped up all our starting lineups and everything, and national anthem. So now we got to wait another 90 seconds or so here before we begin the first period. So what effect does this have? I mean, you get ready to go, you get your starting lineups, national anthem, you're ready to go, and now you got teams skating around the ice trying to get warmed up here with a minute to go till puck drop.
Yeah, absolutely, and usually we see them as soon as the national anthem is over. They're at center ice ready for this face-off, so it wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a slower first few minutes from both teams here.
Right. In a standard game, of course, you could just go right into a puck drop, but with TV and all the timing that it takes for them, you got to time up your opening, and they probably have a commercial break in the first 5 minutes of their show, so we will wait with 45 seconds on the clock here in the arena.
And Patrick, I've never actually been to a national televised Miami game. Are we going to see more TV timeouts?
We will not. No, it'll be the same amount. I believe they'll be longer. So usually a minute-long media timeouts. I think today will be 90 seconds. So
it's not too bad.
Nope. But it changes every year too, so you never know. As the RedHawks and Broncos on the ice, so again, Miami left to right across your radio here in our first period. Western Michigan moves right to left. In this regular season finale for both of these teams, second leg of the home and home, after Western Michigan beat Miami by 3 goals at Lawson on Friday. Broncos lead all-time against the RedHawks, 72-70-13. This has been a close series between these two all-time ever since it started. All the way back in the old-time CCHA days. So everybody's lined up at center ice ready to go, but the TV red light is still on. As Casey Gilling is at center ice with Paul Washy here before the draw for both of these teams. Ahead of this game. All right, red light's off, ready to go. Here from Oxford, last home game of the year for the RedHawks, in Western Michigan with a puck to get things going in their own end as Aiden Fulp, the cross-ice feed over for his defensive partner Ronnie Adder, gets it deep in the Miami zone, and the RedHawks break out from there. Casey Gilling the feed over on the left wing. Mark Russell can't come out of his zone end, feeds it forward to the Bronco line, and Casey Gilling picks it up far corner behind the Western Michigan net. His feed to the near wing, picked off there by Lucas Glover. As it's played to the right point, RedHawks keep it in and hold the line. Mahalik slides it left point, a shot purposely wide by Russell. Hit nobody. Puck in the near corner here, the Miami offensive zone. RedHawks doing a great job these first 30 seconds. As Western Michigan works it out up the right wing and into the Miami zone. Glover off the boards and behind the RedHawk net. Matt Perry, the RedHawks leading scorer, to the far corner for Mark Russell. Now John Slatic controls at the Miami line. Shovels it forward to center ice, where Matt Perry circles back in his own end and turns it over to Ethan Frank. But it's back in the hands of Miami after Frank copped it up at the Miami line. Battle forward in the corner. RedHawks emerge. Up the near wing is Derek Datsky. The chip forward to the right wing. Trying to go over the Bronco line. Barbolini hits Perry near circle with a shot. And Bussey holds on to it in the breadbasket here. As Perry got a good look coming down the right wing in the circle. The snapshot gobbled up by Brandon Bussey. 18:49 to go in the first.
Yeah, and a great first minute from the RedHawks. I don't think that Western Michigan controlled the puck for probably more than 5 seconds there. And if they could play like this the whole game, it'll be a long afternoon for Western Michigan.
Yep. So the drop to the left of Bussey. Western Michigan wins it in their own end, and is played behind the net by Michael Joyo up the far wing boards. The RedHawks clogging the lanes there and keep it in. They hold the line at the left point. Back behind the Bronco net as you have Brett Van Oss near his corner, can't get it out. Michael Joyo for support. Back to Van Oss up the near wing boards. Clement keeps it in and fires it around the glass from the right point. Puck slides to the far half on the left wing as Larkin plays it out. Here comes Rome over the RedHawk line, right wing for Western Michigan. The shot there, nice pat save by Pearson to the far half wall. Rome near side will play this one to the corner. Van Oss is on it. Shovels it up here for Hugh Larkin, number 28 in black this afternoon for Western Michigan. Down to the near corner, Dashke slides it behind the cage, and Jack Clement up the far wing for the RedHawks. Little backhand shovel pass picked up at center though by Drew Warad. Here's Passolt over the RedHawk line, left wing, hits the brakes. Top of the near circle, down to the corner. The pass down there for Granger. He'll play it to the circle for Adder's bomb that goes over the net from the top of the far circle. Puck back here in the near corner. Rome working in the near side with Jack Clement. Puck comes out high in the zone. Cassetti can't handle it for the RedHawks. Back behind the cage is Dashke and Passolt. Crash it for it there. Dashke feeding to the near wing for Cassetti, and it goes off the glass, back down to center ice. And out of play, actually, into the Western Michigan bench. And where the face-off will be here, looks like they'll keep it in the Miami zone.
And this is the first time we've seen Nick Cassetti in a little while. You can tell he looks a little nervous out there. He had trouble handling that puck on the half wall, trying to break it out. But he's definitely skating hard. He finished 2 or 3 checks on that shift, so glad to see that he's working hard in his first action in a while.
Yeah, a lot of injury trouble for him this year. Missed a lot of the games in the pod. And of course, had a stretch of games where he was out these last few weekends for the RedHawks. Western Michigan over the line left wing. As Van Oss tripped up in the circle, Cassetti was battling a lower body injury. Problem with one of his ankles these last few weekends, so good to see him back out on the ice. Hard corner with it, Van Oss. Western Michigan tripped up. You got Hampus Reichquist over there along the near half wall for Miami, knocked down. And behind the net with it, Monty Grant to the near circle for Bray Crowder. Crowder left wing feed, over the line is Reichquist, left wing, slides this one back behind the net. Bussey's on it here for Western Michigan. Crowder copped it up and let it go there for a near wing feed. Western Michigan breaks it out as Cale Bennett grabbed control. Over the line, right point, Jason Poland fires up in the circle. Glover in front, the backhand shot over the crossbar there as Pearson down on his belly was trying to make the save. Glover near half wall up the wing for Western Michigan. Slides this one back to the near side for Poland. He'll walk this one up the half wall. Spin around move high in the zone. Fires it very high slot wide of Pearson, who sticks it here to the near corner. Is Gilling tying up there with Rourke Russell. Russell comes away with the puck. Up the left wing, back through center. Phil Nye trying to foot race with Cedric Fiedler back to the near corner of the Western Michigan zone. And he'll play this one far side to safety as Joyo comes out of his own end with it. A feed up the right wing for Warad. Chips it over the RedHawk line to the far corner of the Miami zone. Drosser first to it. He copped it up with Warad as Warad skates it up the near half wall through the circle. Back to the line, Adder. Wrist shot, right point. That goes into traffic in front. Bounces back to the RedHawk line. And he got buried the left wing feed. 2-on-2 the other way. Nice, chips it ahead. Olmstead the shot in front. Nice save by Bussey to get his body in front along the left post. And Western Michigan will work this one out. 3-on-2. Gallant over the middle of the RedHawk line. Right wing feed, and then they try to get it back to the near side for Fulp, but he couldn't handle it here in the near circle. Gallant lets it go back into the circle. Berry plays it out through center ice. Granger with it for Western Michigan through the center circle. Into the zone, middle of the blue line. Dashke stripped it from him. The indirect feed for Corbett off the bench left wing. And now Chase Pletzke on the Bronco line trying to go through the far circle. He got tripped up. And a penalty coming here as Scooter Bricky knocked down Chase Pletzke. Andy Thackerberry, the referee in the near corner of the Broncos zone, making that call. And the RedHawks to the power play when we return in this one. 14:59 to go in the opening period. RedHawks and Broncos are scoreless. This is Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. 2-minute power play upcoming for the RedHawks out of our first media timeout in this one with 14:59 to go in period number 1. As Western Michigan is to the box. The penalty was given to number 6 of the Broncos, Scooter Bricky. A 2-minute minor for tripping, and the Miami power play will go to work here out of our immediate timeout. RedHawks power play, that's 7th in the NCHC at 15.2% conversion rate. They were 0 for 1 in the game on Friday. First leg of the home and home. Western Michigan penalty kill, 5th best in the NCHC at 76.5% conversion rate. So the face-off to the left of Bussey. RedHawks shovel it in from the line on the face-off win. Slatted played it off the corner boards into the hands now of Aiden Fulp. And his backhand play will get it out to center as Paul Watchy, the glove down left wing. Slides it middle of the ice behind Jason Poland, trying to get that feed on the right wing and get it deep. And instead Poland skates it back in his own end for Western Michigan. And Bennett plays it forward to the RedHawk line. Paul Watchy there couldn't cleanly catch the pass. As it's back in the far corner here in the Miami zone, Matt Berry plays it off for Derek Dashke. Near wing feed for Casey Gilling. Skates it up left wing through center. Dishes back into the circle for Berry over the Bronco line left wing. Hits Barbolini and a pass on the boards. His play to the middle though off his skate, trying to feed it to the near wing, and Warad clears down the ice for Western Michigan. 1:10 to go on the power play. Pearson with it behind his net for Miami. Gilling in the circle, dishes over far side. Dashke with it. Near wing feed for Berry. We'll take it through the center circle on the skates for Miami, trying to skate it over the Bronco line by himself. He was met there by Addard, who made contact with Berry, stripped of the puck, and it's back behind the Miami net where Pearson has it. 42 to go here in the power play. Mahalik skates it out. Phil Nyes over the RedHawk line left wing, trying to hit Olmstead with a pass. Addard in there to break it up, back behind the Bronco net. Aiden Fulp near wing feed, potential 2-on-1 here as Gallant let it go out of his reach. He could have had a 2-on-1 with Passolt. Instead it ends up in the hands of the defenseman back Mahalik. Mahalik with it over the Bronco line left wing. His indirect in the hands of Cole Gallant, who clears it all the way down the ice for Western Michigan with 15 to go in the Miami power play. Pearson with it behind his cage for the RedHawks. We'll play this one up into the hands of Bray Crowder. Mahalik rims this one around behind the net to the far side. Grabbed there by Cassetti. RedHawks will try to set up in the zone. As Fiedler with it far corner. Western Michigan turn it over as Pletzky trying to feed it back to the far circle out of the reach there of Cassetti. Rolling back the other way. Western Michigan over the middle of the RedHawk line. His rip wide right of the net. And back behind the Miami cage it goes. RedHawks cop it up there. Crowder had it for a moment. Roma's shot near circle. That one off his skate to the near corner. And the RedHawks try to work it up these near wing boards. Played out by Pletzky. Back to center ice. Corvett shoved off there. The puck by Joyall. He'll rim this one around to the far side. And a rush the other way for the Broncos. Down the far wing with it. A pass in front by Fulp. Trying to hit past Solt. Never quite got to him as the Miami stick was in the way. Puck loose, far circle, the Bronco offensive zone. RedHawks work it out and up the right wing as Adder chases this one down. In the corner with Silver, the wrap around to the far side. Larkin plays it forward for Passolt, right wing at the red line, but he was stripped away. Graham left wing over the Bronco line is Dashke the shot. Just wide there, a Bussey as Clement with it right point for the RedHawks. His play to the middle, picked off onto the stick of Western Michigan's Hugh Larkin. RedHawks with it back in their zone. Clement near circle. D-to-D feed on the left wing for Dashke. Through center ice, Gilling chips it over the Bronco line left wing. Glove down there though by Addard. Starts to rush the other way over the RedHawk line. He goes right wing in front for a one-timer by White. Pearson got the pad down and he covers it up with 11:29 to go in the first. Mini 2-on-1 the other way for the Broncos. And Pearson shuts it down on the one-timer. The great shot in front by Jared White after he got a feed from the right wing.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing two teams today that really don't want to lose their last regular season game because neither of these teams, this game doesn't have a huge effect on seeding for the playoffs, but both these teams are playing really hard.
And back and forth they go for sure. The intensity for second game of the series as well, so you got that little rivalry going too, and these two teams have already seen each other. What, this is the 6th time this year?
Yeah.
Barbolini feed to the near wing in the Broncos zone. Adder wraps it from behind his net to the far wing. Poland chips it up And out of the zone to center ice. Glover with it. Right wing at center. The feet of the middle. Paul Washy couldn't grab control as the stick of Reichquist came in to poke it free. Pulling with it back in the Bronco end. Dishes for Bricky in front of his net. Near wing feed Glover through the center ice area. Over the Red Hawk line. Near circle now. Opening up for the shot. And Pearson had it. Kind of a bad angle look there. Kind of on the ice. And a snapper that Pearson will cover up against his right pad with 10:54 to go in the opening period. Shots are 4-2 Broncos. Nearing the halfway point here of our first frame. Face off to the right of Pearson. You get Gilling in there with Warad. In the Miami zone, Gallant comes away with it into the circle. Spin around shot handled by the pad of Pearson. Nice, plays it back to center ice. Gilling lost it there. Frank trying to barrel his way over the Red Hawk line. Right wing was shut down. And the puck back in the Bronco end. Here's Gallant. Lost it at the line, but got it back. Warad over the Red Hawk line. Right wing. Chases back over there for Frank behind the cage. With it there was Gallant as Russell copped it up. And then Nyes, far half wall for the Red Hawks, looking to crash in. Back behind the Miami net. Here's Russell off the glass. Back through center ice. Right wing. Joyal takes it in the Bronco end. Right side feed for Frank. Over the Miami line. It was loose there as it went off of his stick. It kicked back to center off the stick of Dashke. Fiedler rims it around the boards into the Miami zone to the far side. Kept in there by Joyal. They say no offside as he was almost there at the line. Van Oss near circle trying to play it through the middle. Missed Joyal with a pass. He's got a right point and the spin around shot there into the breadbasket of Pearson with a cover. 9:52 remains in our opening period between Miami and Western Michigan. We are scoreless in Oxford. This is Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. 9:52 to go here in opening period. Miami and Western Michigan are scoreless on the ice in this regular season finale for both teams. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with it here in Oxford. Faces off to the left of Pearson in the Miami zone to get things going out of the media timeout. Just past the halfway point here of the opening period. RedHawks win the draw to the far corner, and Derek Dashke, his first instinct was to get it out of the zone, and it went over the glass on the far side, so the draw comes right back to the left of Pearson. Lonnie Graham and Brett Van Oss in this draw as they tussle again in the circle. Another win to the far corner for Miami, and Clement will just rim it around the boards down the ice from there. And behind the Bronco net for an icing call against the RedHawks. So you got 9:36 to go in the opening period. Back and forth, both teams are going pretty even so far in this one, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. And Western Michigan's one of the worst defensive teams in the NCHC, giving up more than 3.5 goals per game. So if you get shots on net and get good opportunities, you're going to score. You're going to catch them out of position eventually.
Yep. One to the far corner for the RedHawks, and the draw to the left of Pearson. Work it middle of the ice. Monty Graham through center. Chips it over the Bronco line left wing as Holland back to get it for Miami. Michael Holland, number 20 in white, the freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Right wing feed for Clement at the point. Slides it left wing. The shot by Dashke knocked down top of the far circle. Granger got in the way of that for the Broncos. And this one lifted out from the Bronco end as Adder plays it into the RedHawks zone, and Clement fires it over on the far corner for Daschke. Holland on it, left wing, it through center ice. Brian Silver, the poke to get it deep into the Western Michigan zone, but he was a foot in front of the red line, and they call it an icing on the RedHawks. As Silver thought he had enough room, but according to the linesman, didn't, and the draw comes back to the right of Pearson.
Yeah, and that's about every hockey coach I've ever met's pet peeve. If you're close enough to the red line that you think you might be there, just take 2 extra steps and dump it then.
Yep. So this draw again to the near wing of the Miami defensive zone. It features Paul Washy and Joey Cassetti. And it trickles through the crease there as Washy won it forward. Puck in the far corner, RedHawks zone. Crowder plays it up the wing. Cassetti chips it left wing through center ice. Silver gets it over the Bronco line. Cassetti from the corner, bad angle shot. High in the air through the crease. Crowder right point, played it in on net. And a shot on the ice was sticked up and out of play. Far corner by Bussey. The draw should come to his right here with 8:40 left in the first period. A scoreless game between Miami and Western Michigan.
And it's funny, I feel like we went like 6 straight game minutes without a stoppage of play, and
I
now
know.
we've had 3 in the last like 30 seconds.
Draws to Bussey's left. Paul Washy, Joey Cassetti in this draw in the Miami offensive zone. Puck one to the near corner. Fulp rims it around the boards for Western Michigan. Back out to center ice. Poland will take it back to the safety of his zone end for Western Michigan. Up the right wing through center. Chips it in on net. Wide of Pearson. Puck in the near half wall here of the RedHawks zone as Washy trying to stick this one out. Fulp right wing at center. Played it through the middle. Pletzky was unable to chip it into the Broncos zone. Poland with it over the RedHawk line right away. Dishes toward the boards as Frank off the high glass back to the near half wall of the Miami end. Mahalik behind his cage. Crowder will stop with it there as the Western Michigan forecheck goes back to center ice. Crowder left wing through center is Casey Gilling. Hit on the boards by Warad. Gilling cross ice feed. Sladek over the line right away for the RedHawks. His shot patted behind the net by Bussey. Here's Crowder, far half wall. Kicks it forward. Adder takes over in the circle for Western Michigan. Right wing feed knocked down by Gilling. Left point of the Miami offensive zone. He'll play it to the far corner as Joyo and Sladek tie up for it there. Nyes joins the party in the board battle with Ronnie Adder as it's up against sticks and skates against the boards. Puck up to the far half wall. Here's Gilling, middle line. Russell's shot blasted wide of the net on the ice. And Gallant the chip to center off the rebound for Western Michigan. Near wing at Strasser for the RedHawks trying to work it out of the zone. He can't. Puck back in the Miami end as Strasser corrals it, gets it back behind the cage. Work Russell on it here for the RedHawks. Left wing feed for Matt Berry coming out of his own end. Right side gets it to Strasser over the Bronco line right wing. Chips it ahead as Fiedler with it. In the near corner, lost his stick. And a little crack in the boards where there's a door. And the puck kicked back to center. RedHawks take over in their own end. Homestead near wing feed for Drasner. Cross ice for Russell. Playing it ahead. Left wing over the line. Barbolini hits the brakes at the half wall. Back for Russell. Top of the far circle. Barbolini works this one behind the net. Matt Berry's on it in the corner. Up the near circle. Spins it around there at the half wall. Back to the up high. Homestead left point. Russell's shot there was off of Rome's body to the far half wall. Western Michigan now with it behind their net. Here's Van Haas, near wing feed for Larkin, middle of the ice. Hugh Larkin, potential rush the other way. Over the line right side, he comes through the circle, played it in front, and Bricky there. The stick right over Pearson. Miami with it back through center. Barry, left wing feed. Over the line here for Miami into the offensive zone. Bussey around the boards from behind his net. Pass over, far half wall. And as they coughed it up in the circle, Fiedler had it for a second, regained control. And now the RedHawks with it in their own end after it went through center. Daschke left wing feed. Holland lost it at the red line against Cale Bennett. Western works it here over the RedHawk line left wing. Granger trying to go against Clement. Puck taken off his stick to the near corner. Passot wraps it far side to the half wall with it is Jared White. And his spin around shot from the right point patted by Pearson to the near half wall. Granger left wing feed. At the point is Adder, skates down the half wall, drive to the net from the goal line, and his backhand pass there went through the crease, didn't touch anybody, as the RedHawks work it up back through center ice, and Holland's feed behind the net, grabbed here by Fulp for Western Michigan. Fulp feeds it up through center, tipped by Washy, right side of the red line into the far corner. Reichwest in his zone end for Miami, back to center ice as Poland has it here for the Broncos. He was stripped by Cady almost at the line, but Fiedler grabbed control. He was in the area for Western Michigan and gets it deep behind the Red Hawk net. Glover with it against Reichwest in the far corner. As you got Poland chasing in there as well. This board battle 2 against 2 for both sides. Back in the Miami zone. Crowder shoved up against the end boards by Poland. Corbett with it here near corner of Miami's end. Up the near half wall trying to hit Reichwest, went past him and into the Broncos zone as Joyal back to get it behind his cage. 4:39 to go in the first. We're scoreless between Miami and Western Michigan. Joyal over the line on the right wing for the Broncos. Dishes back to the middle. Russell played it there after he got control for Miami. Copped it up though for Ethan Frank. Far circle feed, Western offensive zone. They try to kick it to the line, but it went past the stick of Bricky back in the Broncos zone as Gallant hits Bricky's center circle. Carries it over the Red Hawk line left wing. Bricky to the middle. High slot. Nye's got his stick in there to take it away. Puck kicked back to neutral ice. And on the right wing, Gallant was stripped there by Gilling back in the Miami zone. As Russell far circle plays it up the left wing boards neutral ice. Gilling couldn't get that pass as Bennett was there to take it from him. Warad hit hard far half wall in the Bronco offensive zone as Gilling got in his way. And Gilling starts to rush left wing back the other way through center. Feed to the near corner as Ethan Frank in the Bronco zone goes D to D with Bennett. Gallant right wing at center. Dumps it behind the net. Pearson grabs it for the Red Hawks. Left it there for Jack Clement. Far side feed in the corner. Dasky plays it up the wing for Nyes. Standing at the Red Hawk line, will feed it near wing. Jack Clement, right wing at center, through the middle of the ice. So the Bronco line was Dasky, nearly had a breakaway as he was with Adard, but lost the puck to the near corner of the Bronco zone. With it is Olmstead, feeds it far half wall. Clement back behind the net. Barbolini tripped up there. Olmstead grabs it from him as we play on. Jack Olmstead spin around left point, rims it around behind the net. Again, Barbolini with it now far corner. Back to the circle, Olmstead bomb. Pat saved by Bussy. Rebound to the circle, Clement couldn't get a shot off. Here's Mahalik. He's at the line with a rip. That deflected through a pair of sticks to the near corner of the zone. 2:54 to go in the first. Adard with it below the goal line, Western Michigan. Plays it up here as Larkin skates it through center. 2 against 3 for Western Michigan. Larkin over the line on the right wing. Into the offensive zone, kicks it back, but a pass that missed everybody. Up to the Red Hawk line, and pass Soul through center ice with it now for the Broncos. He'll charge up the right wing, backhand dump, in and behind the net. As Crowder wraps this one up to the near half wall, Poland takes it over. Hit there by Crowder, behind the net, Poland still with it. Far circle, the pass for Pasol, high slot, Joyal the rip. And a great glove save there by Pearson as he stretched out to his left to grab the puck. 2:22 to go in the opening period between Miami and Western Michigan. We are scoreless here in Oxford. This is Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. 2:22 to go in our opening period. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with the Air at Steve Caton Arena in Oxford. Series finale and regular season finale for Western Michigan and Miami on the ice this afternoon, and we are scoreless late in the first. Ludwig Pearson will have the face-off to his left here in the Miami zone between Joey Cassetti and looks like Drew Warad for Western Michigan. TV light is off. We're set and ready to go. On the left wing of the Miami defensive zone. Tie up forward in the circle after the draw. Mahalik far corner. Plays it behind the net here for Bray Crowder. Up the near wing is Chase Pletzky off the high glass back to center ice where it's closed down by Joyal. at the Bronco line. Pletzky takes control from there and will dump this one back behind the Bronco net around the boards to the near wing. Mahalik slides it down low for Cassetti. War out in the corner. Behind the cage again as Joyle worked it up. Gallant far half wall for Western Michigan is on the puck. He stripped it away from Crowder down there. It was a forward on this shift. And Western Michigan clears this one from behind the red line deep into neutral ice, and they call it an icing. As Frank clearly beat Mahalik to the puck there in the corner. And the bench of the Broncos not happy with that call with 1:46 to go here in the first. Face-off back will be in the Miami zone, I believe.
Yeah, and that anger from the Broncos is justified. They definitely beat Miami to the puck there, and it looks like the Broncos coach actually has his left foot up on the boards, yelling at the referee right now. Oh, now the linesman. I was going to say he shouldn't be yelling at the referee. That's the linesman's call, but yeah, not happy and justifiably so, I would say.
And that's Andy Murray, who is the calmest head coach in this league, if you ever get a chance to talk to him. Fired up, most fired up I've ever seen him in his 9 years at Western Michigan. About that icing call. RedHawks win the draw in the offensive zone. Russell plays it back behind the net. Gilling played it in front or at the left point here for Drasner. Wraps it behind the cage, out of the reach there at Gilling. Up the near corner, Knives trying to win this battle. And the board to get Scooter Bricky as the RedHawks can't get it out. Russell plays it behind the net. Bricky on it here for Western Michigan, far corner. Lifts it up the far wing as Sladek took over there. Back to the left point for Drasner. Skates it down the wall for the RedHawks. Left it in front for a one-timer. Gilling sliding it just right of the post against Bussey. Morad with it for Western Michigan. Can't get it out up the far point with Phil Nyes. Back with it in the zone. Fiedler for Western Michigan near circle. Cross ice look. Chipped into the zone on the right wing of the RedHawk line for Western Michigan by Warad behind the net. Russell leaves it there for Miami at his own end. Left point feed for Barry as he circles back. Middle of the ice. Left wing feed for Olmstead. Far circle of the zone. Gave it back over there for Rourke Russell. Over the line on the left wing. Chips it off a stick as he was trying to dump it in. Deep in the zone. It went off Paul Watchie's stick. Up and out of play with 38.4 seconds to go here in the first. So draw to the right of Bussey coming up. As you got Paul Wachie in this one with Matt Barry. Wachie wins the draw back, full far corner. Works it up the boards, back to center ice. Barry chips it through the middle, near wing for Basson. Over the line, left wing. Paul Wachie, a rip near circle, offensive end. High and right over Pearson's net. Battered back in his own end for Western Michigan. Playing it ahead for Poland. Near wing feed in the center ice area. Missed full. As Wachie takes this one back in the feed to center ice for Attard. Ronnie Attard over center of the Miami line. Lost it there. Stick to the corner with 6 to go in the period. Back at the far half wall, Miami end. Daschke will lift this one out. The 9-iron to center ice. And that'll take care of the time here in the first period. So Miami to Western Michigan with no score after our initial 20 minutes. Shots are led by the Broncos 8-7. And a back and forth first period there, Jack. Pretty even between both of these teams. Looking for their final regular season points. As 3 are on the line here. It was playoff seeding, kind of the major overshadowing thing in this game today.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that Miami's going to get a lot of chances in this second and third period. They've already had some chances. Western Michigan sends 3 in on their forecheck for every line but one, I believe. And when you're doing that, it's going to be easy to break out going 3-on-2 the other way. And I think that Miami's going to be able to capitalize on that if Western Michigan keeps being so aggressive.
So that's where we stand here after 20 minutes of play in Oxford, Ohio. Take a quick look there at your first period numbers. So nothing to talk about in terms of the scoring summary of this game. RedHawks are trailing in the shots 8-7 to Western Michigan here through 20 minutes. 1 power play chance in that period. It was a Scooter Bricky tripping minor. RedHawks were unable to convert, so they're 0-for-1 on the power play. Western Michigan 0-for-0 on the power play. They did not have any chances in that opening period. Face-offs are tied at 7 apiece for each team. 3 block shots for Miami to Western Michigan's 2. And of course, 2 penalty minutes to the Broncos and none for the RedHawks. Quick look at your out-of-town scoreboard. This is the only game going on in the NCHC today, with it being the Friday-Sunday home-and-home for Western Michigan and Miami. 3 other games in college hockey today nationally. Colgate visits Clarkson for a 4 o'clock start. Up in the North Country in New York, Bowling Green will play at Alabama Huntsville, a 3 o'clock Central Time start from way down there in Huntsville. And then Northeastern visits Providence in Hockey East action, a 7 o'clock start there from Rhode Island. So those are the only games going on across the college hockey world today. Pretty quiet Sunday, but things will be ratcheting up here over the next week or 2 weeks as playoffs get going and regular seasons wrap up for all of the leagues. And then NCAA tournament talk is coming up the pike as well. Both of these teams would like to be in the mix for NCAA tournament talk, but I don't think an at-large bid is really likely for either Miami or Western Michigan, as only the top 16 make it. All right, so about a 13.5-minute break here in our first intermission as Miami and Western Michigan are scoreless in Oxford. Our second period is on the way in this very even game. Stay with us. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with you here in Oxford, Ohio, ahead of our second period between Miami and Western Michigan. As this scoreless game continues on here on a Sunday afternoon. RedHawks and Broncos in the regular season finale, trying to climb their way through playoff positioning here. RedHawks come in 8th place in the NCHC, 18 points they have in the league standings. Colorado College actually has 18, but they have a game at hand with the RedHawks. It's next weekend. They'll play Denver at home in a single game at Saturday at 7. Broncos have 30th points in 6th place. They could potentially get to 5th with a win today and a Denver loss next week, as the Pioneers have 31 points in the standings, but in 4th is Omaha with 38, so Western Michigan either 5th or 6th in the standings. The draw at center, we're underway here in Oxford. Second period is Buck here on the right side of the Miami offensive zone. It's a Western Michigan, turns it over. They're over the center of the line as Paul Washy, far corner, will stick this one in on Pearson, and he will make the breadbasket save 18 seconds into the second period. So what do you want to see more of out of Miami, Jack, in this middle frame?
Yeah, like we were saying before the break, I think that they just need to play mistake-free hockey and keep the front of the net clean. And the way that Western Michigan plays, being so aggressive on the forecheck, sending two guys on the puck all the time, they're going to make mistakes, and Miami's going to get odd man rushes, and they're just going to need to convert on those this period.
There's a draw to the right of Pearson. RedHawks win it in the defensive zone, trying to play this one out, but it's up high and turned over. Ethan Frank back for Gallant in the circle. His rip went off a stick, up and out. Off the high glass, rather, I should say. Puck still in play. Broncos with it, offensive zone. Whereat sticks it back to the left point. Aiden Fulp shot to the corner. Goes back behind the net. Crowder on it here. Right wing feed up for Barry. Sticks it over the Bronco line on the right side as Olmstead plays this one back behind the Bronco net. Adder the wrap to the far side for Olmstead at the half wall. Plays it to the corner. Barry looking to center it in front. Couldn't get a good look there. As Whereat back up the wing for Ethan Frank over the middle of the Red Hawk line with a breakaway to the net. Frank will roof it. Top shelf on Ludwig Pearson. Broke his way through about 3 Red Hawk players from center ice into the cage. And Ethan Frank going coast to coast. Makes it a 1-0 game. The leading scorer for Western Michigan in terms of goals with his 12th of the year.
Wow, just really a poor shift from Miami, like a really tepid forecheck down there. And as soon as Frank came out, he just split the two defensemen, beat him right to the net, and roofed it on Pearson. Tough start to the second period.
And roofed it too, with emphasis there. Hit the roof of the net, the top of it. And the Broncos here up 1-0 early on in the second. And as Frank with the goal there, they credit on the stats to Hugh Larkin. Definitely was not him. But the time of the goal, 1:03 of the second period. Right point is Granger, plays it down the near corner. Western Michigan still in the offensive zone. White with Passolt. Passolt with it near circle, back to the line. Bricky's shot. Pat St. Pearson saw through traffic. Kick to the near corner. Drasner rims this one around to the far side. Bennett comes in, keeps it deep for Western Michigan. Back in the near corner of the Miami zone. Drasner spin around play. Back behind the net here for Russell. And up the right wing where it's played by Bennett. Granger upended there for Western Michigan. As Drasner chases to the near side of center ice to get it deep behind the Bronco net. Miami, the long change here in the second, will make a wholesale 5-man change. Clement plays this up through center ice. Holland over the line on the right wing. Hit hard there by Fiedler as the puck in the corner. Van Oss behind the net for Cale Bennett. Copped it up there. Silver comes over to the Miami offensive zone. Our circle feed for Clement. Trying to flip that one through the crease. Nobody home. Daschke with it here behind the cage. Gives it up along the near corner. Silver back to the line for Holland. Wrist shot there from the left point. Glove save was made by Bussey. Played back in front as Silver got the feed forward, but Daschke could not come in soon enough. And Bussey the cover with 17:27 left in the second. We got the shots in favor of Western Michigan now by a 9-2 margin. As the RedHawks and Broncos here on the ice, 1-0 Western Michigan. RedHawks win the draw to the right of Bussey. Way back behind the net, Van Oss with it, rims it around the boards to the far side. Ethan Rome grab control there for the Broncos. Beg your pardon, Jamie Rome, number 20 in black. Puck back to center ice, and Clement with it here for the RedHawks at the red line right side. Rims it around the boards, near wing. Broncos grab it there. As Van Oss had it for a moment, kicked it back for Fulp, and here clears to center. Clement with it right side at the red line, right back behind the Bronco net with a puck. Joyle picks it up there for Western Michigan. 16:50 left here in the second. We'll just wait behind the net as the Broncos set up. Feed to the left wing, Larkin trying to chip it ahead at the red line, blocked down by the big body of Clement. Takes it back in the Miami zone. Now with it is Mahalik up the right wing, reaches the red line, will rifle this one back behind the Bronco net up the near half wall of the Western Michigan zone. Joyle kicks it back behind the cage. Fulp up through the far circle, backhand play all the way down the ice. Icing waved off as Poland beats Crowder there. Homestead sticks it up the far half wall. Barry the chip to the left point. Washi was stripped there by Barbolini. Through neutral ice, chips it ahead to the far corner of the Western Michigan zone. Bricky behind his cage will work it up the near wing, play it to center as Mahalik sticked it ahead there and lost it to Poland. Paul Washi, right side of the Red Hawk line, will play it in on Pearson, gets the glove on it. Leaves it behind his cage for Crowder. Near wing feed, missed Barbolini as Bricky got in the way of that, and he'll play it down the boards. Poland near circle, toe drag shot, and the rebound came after the pat save by Pearson in the far half wall, and this one is lifted up and out of play as Poland trying to pass it cross ice from the far side, went out of the stick, went off the stick of Crowder, and up and out of play.
Yep, and that face off will be down in the Red Hawk zone because it went off Crowder's stick.
As you have 15:44 left here in the second. Cassetti in this draw with Warad to the right of Pearson. One back to the middle of the Red Hawk line. Adder plays it down there to the near corner. Cassetti and Warad will tie up down low. Fulp with it, left point for Western Michigan. Chips it down the boards. On it there for the Broncos, near circle for Adder to shot. Going off the right side of the post, back behind the net. Warad swoops in and grab it behind the cage, trying to skid it up high in his zone. Frank spin around play from there after he got control. Another pat save by Pearson, kick to the far side. Russell with it, far corner, up ahead of the line for Pletzky, trying to play it ahead. We get a whistle here for an offside call as Western Michigan have botched zone entry with 15:12 to go in the middle period. 1-0 Western Michigan leads it. Redhawks win the puck back in their own end. Daschke feeds it far wing for Clement. Up the right wing boards all the way down the ice. And this will not be an icing waved off as Graham chased it and won the battle to the puck near circle of the zone. Back to center though. Here comes Western Michigan. 3-on-1 the other way over the line left wing. Here comes Jared White. The play to the middle. They score as Joyle got it on net. And then standing at the right post for Western Michigan to knock it past the outstretched left pad of Ludwig Pearson. The finish to the goal was made by Luke Granger, and the freshman makes it 2-0 Broncos here in the second.
Yeah, and it looks like Pearson was expecting a shot from the high man on that 3-on-2. I believe it was Jared White, and the puck just dribbled over to Granger on the right post, and Pearson was just out of position, and he just tapped it right in there. Slid it right past him.
So Paul Washi and Casey Young in the draw at center ice. As Granger with the goal for Western Michigan, Frank and Joyle the assists. It is the fourth of the year for Granger. Puck back in the Bronco end. Bricky with it below the goal line. Coughed it up against Phil Nyes with it now far circle in the Miami offensive zone. Spin around look there. Blocked down by bodies in front. And then playing ahead for Western Michigan. Break to the net there is Glover. And was down the left wing. He got slashed. Penalties coming up against Miami. As Glover got the feet ahead, he turned on the Jets through the center circle over the Red Hawk line and went toward the left wing. And a slashing call coming up here is a nice two-hander on his stick given by Bray Crowder. So Western Michigan, the 2-0 lead here in the second, and they're to the power play when we return. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Bray Crowder to the box for Miami out of the timeout. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with it here in Oxford. It is a 2-minute minor for slashing against Bray Crowder. And a Western Michigan power play goes to work for the first time today. They were 3 for 4 in the game on Friday. 29.2%, fourth best in the nation. #1 power play in the league. Joy to the far circle, a rip there by Frank after the offensive zone drop by Western Michigan. And the puck circles all the way back into the Bronco end behind the Western Michigan net. 15 seconds into the power play. Coming out of his zone, Joy feeds it to Warad over the line on the right wing. Back behind the net with it, Dashke for the RedHawks. And it was poked around off of his stick. As they battle for it here behind the Miami net against the boards. Gallant comes away with it for Western Michigan. Feeds it right point. Joy to the near half wall for Warad. Playing it in front. You got Clement in there to stick it away. And Corbett with it far corner Miami zone will lead the charge out with a left wing feed over there for Dashke. Dashke over the Bronco line, left side, top of the circle. Toe drag. He was knocked to the ice by Frank as the puck barely got on net to Bussey. Western Michigan through center ice. Warad to Gallant over the line on the right wing, sticks it ahead. Drasner gluffs it down from in front of his net and rims it all the way down the ice past the outstretched stick of Western Michigan's Ronnie Adard on the far side. 53 to go here in the power play. Adard with it behind the Bronco net, feeds it up through center ice. Passolt, give and go there with the watch. He has Passolt over the line on the left wing. Lays it back behind the net. Russell rims this one around the near half wall. Adard stops it there along with Pletzky. Russell barrels over, pulling away from the puck. They'll play on as it's back at center. Adard the feed over the Red Hawk line, left wing, played at middle. Paul Washy's pass picked off by Russell, and he'll stick this one all the way back down the ice up the right wing behind the Bronco net with 22 to go in the power play. Western Michigan here, back into the offensive zone. Over the line on the left wing, pulling, left to go behind the net. It was hit hard there by Mahalik, and he'll wrap this one around up to the right point. Past Fulp. Monty Graham gets away from him. Breakaway to the net. Monty Graham will get stopped by Bussey trying to go forehand, backhand. Graham was coming up the left wing, went across the ice, right in front, trying to go backhand, forehand. And Bussey on his stomach, able to stretch out the left pad to keep it out. Cover made with 12:21 to go in the second.
Oh man, and it looks like Bussey just got that with the edge of his pad, maybe even the blade of his skate. If Graham had been able to wait just a quarter of a second longer, it looks like he would have been able to put that one in the net. But a really good play to get the breakaway there and a good move to almost beat Bussey.
3 seconds left here in the Bronco power play, so that chance coming short-handed there for Monty Graham. Play behind the net, Bennett with it far side, his feet out of the reach of Mateus Samuelsson. Extra forward today for Western Michigan. Rocks work it back in the zone after the penalty kill. And this one, Broncos play all the way back down the ice, in on Pearson for an icing call actually as it went off the end boards. And now you got Mahalik getting in the way there of a Bronco player that kind of came late into the play as he went up against Pearson, maybe trying to get a stick on the puck. As that puck was coming all the way down the ice, it went off the end boards, and then right to Pearson, they called the icing. But number 20 for Western Michigan came in. That's Jamie Rome, and he's actually going to the box here. After he came in late on the play and made contact with Pearson, Mahalik was the one that went in for Miami and kind of fought him, and Mahalik's going to go too.
Yeah, and these Western Michigan guys are really not too respectful of the crease area. We saw last game, Pearson got bowled over in the second period. Miami took a lot of exception to that, and yeah, again, right in the crease after the whistle's blown. Not a great hockey play for sure.
So a 12:04 to go in the second. Looks like we'll be 4-on-4 after Mahalik came in and made contact with Jamie Rome, who got close to Pearson. You got referees explaining what's going on here to both teams now. So they'll put 2 minutes on the board and we'll be 4-on-4. With a draw coming up the Miami offensive zone here to the right of Bussey. So Brian Aaron, long-time college hockey referee, explaining to both benches what's going on here. He would do a lot of Miami Western Michigan games in the old CCHA, especially the league tournament when both these teams were good. Seen a lot of these two teams play each other over the last 25 years or so. It's been around forever. As Cady wins this one back to the left point line, the offensive zone. Clement plays this one in on net. And that one blocked down before it got to the Canes, so pulling left wing for Western Michigan. Lets it go for Bricky, now they're over the middle of the ice. Pulling near circle, hits the brakes. Along the half wall, dishes back for Bennett. Right point, slides it left side. Watchy throws it wide of the net. And you got Dasky with it near half wall for Miami, gets it out of the zone. Right wing, over the line is Cady, sticked it ahead against Bricky. Bricky with it now behind the Bronco net as Cady will give him a nice hit against the headboards. Bennett over there for Bricky, near wing feed. That's center ice pulling over the Bronco to the Red Hawk line right wing. We'll take it across the ice. Pinnerall played a Haddard in the slot, and his one-timer fan right of the net. Picked up there by Gilling, skates it up through center over the Bronco line left wing. Casey Gilling hits the brakes at the half wall. This is back to the point for Barbolini. Right side feed in the circle. Drasner will score! Robbie Drasner will roof this one on Brandon Bussey. Wide open in the far circle. The snapshot top right corner on 4-on-4. And with 11:06 to go in the second, Robbie Drasner cuts the Bronco lead in half. It's 2-1.
What a beautiful crossover to Robbie Drasner. When you're playing 4-on-4, there's a lot more ice. And especially against a team like Western Michigan, who's maybe not the most disciplined on defense, you're going to be able to find ice, and Drasner was right there for the pass over and made no mistake putting it over Bussey's right shoulder.
The Miami goal scored by number 7.
So it remains 4-on-4 here for 56 more seconds. Robbie Drasner's third goal of the year. Gilling and Barbolini will grab the assists. And it comes at 8:54 of the second. Fulp will stick this one back to center. War out over the Red Hawk line right away. It's an icing call against Western Michigan as they played it ahead. And nobody able to grab the feed ahead on the pass there by Broncos in their own zone.
And Robbie Drasner and Matthew Barbolini, both really promising freshmen. We could be hearing that combination on goals for a while.
I think so.
Barbolini from Drasner, Drasner from Barbolini.
Yep.
Excited to see what these guys can do the next 3 years.
Got the straw coming up to the left of Bussey, Gilling, and Warad with it. Back to the right point for Crowder. His wrist shot wide of the net left. Playing here against the half wall. Reichquist lets it go out, and Barbolini on it in his own end for the RedHawks. Matthew Barbolini, near wing feed for Gilling in the circle. Takes this one back in his zone end. And he'll skate it up through center ice here. Dishes back for Reichquist at center ice. Sampus Reichquist over the line on the left wing. Through the circle, backhand feed as Bussey will shove this one to the far corner. Crowder a rip there. And a glove save by Bussey, and the incoming laser from the right point by Bray Crowder.
Yeah, and Laser's right. Crowder got all 6'6", 210 pounds behind that one. And glad I was not in net facing that.
Yep. So you got the draw coming up here to the left of Brandon Bussey. As you got Cassetti here in this draw with Van Oss. Cassetti wins it back to the line. Clement shot there, blocked down in front. Pletzky the rebound, trying to play that one just wide of the net. Cassetti emerges with it near circle. Dishes over there for Dasky. Dasky back for Cassetti. The shot blocked down in front. Another try, Pletzky, and right in the bread basket there. He shot it. Bussey will hold on with 9:57 to go in the second. Western Michigan 2, Miami 1. Robbie Drasner's goal, cutting the Bronco lead in half. And we're back in a moment. This is Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. You got 9:57 to go here in the second period. 2-1 Western Michigan over Miami. On the ice, Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with it here in Oxford as this draw to the right of Brandon Bussey. Wrapped around by Miami and stays in the offensive zone. Right point, Daschke held the line and keep it in. He's with it now in the near circle. Slides it high slot. Cassetti's wrist shot there. Off the stick of Cedric Fiedler, up and out of play.
And they almost got Daschke a really good shot right there in the high slot with nobody in front of him, but he wasn't able to corral the puck. Good job by him to get it over to Cassetti, though, for the shot. And another offensive zone draw.
Right. That comes with 9:44 to go here in the second. Shots are even at 13 apiece.
Low shots today.
Yeah, Western Michigan, the first 2 goals in the second period. If you're just joining us, and then the RedHawks cutting the lead in half. Last few minutes on Robbie Trasser's tally. Puck played back behind the Bronco net after a Miami offensive zone win. Granger coughs it up to the near corner. Chase Pletzky picks it up. We'll run this one back behind the net. Cassetti on it there, tied up with Fiedler. As Joyal was skated out up the right wing for Western Michigan. Through center ice he goes, chips this one around the glass behind the net to the far corner. Daschke up the wing, Corbett chips it back to center ice. Bennett cross ice feed for Larkin up ahead. And this one played in the center circle. Bennett is with it here for the Broncos. Plays it ahead up the right side, missed Larkin on the pass, and this will be an icing against Western Michigan as Bennett was about 5 feet shy of the red line when he tried to feed it forward for Hugh Larkin, but the pass there was about 3 feet up in the air. And Larkin unable to catch it as it went all the way back down the ice. So draw coming up to the right of Bussey. And you got Granger and Graham in this draw. But before that, timeout's called by Western Michigan.
That's an interesting time to call a timeout.
9:07 left here in the second.
Timeout, Western Michigan.
So again, just to recap our second period here while we got the chance to. Scoring began by the Broncos. 1:03 into the period. Ethan Frank with the goal, assisted by Ronnie Anner, Drew Warad. Luke Granger answered. 5:08 to go. 5:08 into the second period. He made it 2-0 Western Michigan. And Drasner tied it for the RedHawks. 8:54 into the period. So you had back and forth action there early on in the frame, Jack, and then the RedHawks. I think these last few minutes have kind of rose to the occasion, if you will, turned it on a little bit, and it's been a more even last several minutes here in the second.
Yeah, absolutely. The RedHawks came out a little flat for sure. Those 2 goals, and especially the first one, were pretty much the result of just miscommunications and maybe not skating as hard as they could. But in the last 6 or 7 minutes, they've really turned it up and had a lot of good offensive zone chances.
Yep.
And maybe here comes another one with another offensive zone draw.
With a draw here to the right of Bussey. Features Paul Washy against Monty Graham. Again, 9:07 left here in our second period. Graham clean win, back to the left point. Drasner, Russell, got it right side, it's in front, they score! Puck went off the end boards, and then it came back into the net front area where Bussey sat on it and knocked it in his own net. And with 9:02 to go in the second, this game is tied at 2.
And a little bit of home ice advantage for the RedHawks there. That was a funky bounce off the boards. Looks like a hard shot from the point.
It just bounced back in front of the net off the end boards. It actually bounced off the end boards, bounced on the backside of Bussey. His right leg was outstretched. It went off that and into the net.
When you're Miami, who has a little bit of trouble scoring goals sometimes, you'll take anything you can get. That's a great break for them.
So our game is tied here as the RedHawks answer the 2-0 Western Michigan lead, or what it was at one point. Miami in the offensive zone. It's taken back here on a turnover as Glover sends it ahead. You got a 5-on-2 the other way for the Broncos. Adder near circle for Fulp in the slot, and Drasner got his stick in there to break up that to the near half wall as Miami's numbers get back. Adder to drive center the blue line over the net. And Sladek with it here at the far circle as Nyes barrels his way through the neutral place area and back to the near wing. The puck goes. Drasner red line at center. We'll play it back behind the cage.
Yeah, and you said 5-on-2. You should never have to say those words. The back check for Miami really has to get in gear there.
Yep. Moran back behind the Red Hawk net. Crowder with it for Gallant. And he copped it up. Now Barry, far corner Miami. The cross ice feed to the left wing through center ice and back in the Broncos zone. Bricky on it behind the cage. Skates it up the far circle. Copped up there as his pass was intercepted by Matt Barry. Moran will stick this one up high in the zone. And with it here is Ethan Frank for Western Michigan. Over the line on the right wing through the circle. Was bodied down there by Clement, coming up the near wing with it. Puck loose in front of the Miami net. RedHawks is able to clear it. As Gallant now will keep it in, holding the line at the right point. Ethan Frank up the near half wall with the puck for Western Michigan. Fiendler with it, near corner. Will stick this one in front and back to the way. Barbolini, the right wing feed. Pletzky over center ice and into the Western Michigan zone. Fiendler rims this one around back to center. Clement, near wing feed for Cassetti. Cross corner dumped in from the left wing. And Fiendler's on it here with 7:10 to go in the second. Left wing feed up ahead, out of the reach of Mateus Samuelson, who was there, left wing at center. And an icing call here against Western Michigan on the bad attempt on the feed. With 7:06 to go in the middle period. 2-2 our score, Miami and Western Michigan. So that last goal for the RedHawks given to Rourke Russell. Number 11 for Miami, his second of the season. Robbie Drasner, a multi-point day for him with the first assist, and Monty Graham had the second assist. And Western Michigan trying to clear from their own end after a face-off. It's into the bench area of the RedHawks. So the draw here will come back to the right of Bussey. With 7:02 to go here in the second, RedHawks leading the shots 14-13 in this regular season finale. Looking to grab the split in this home and home with Western Michigan. Puck back behind the net. Chase Pletzky hand it there with Fulp. Rinse it around the boards up the far wing. Passel chips it to center. Here's Cassetti trying to race down for the RedHawks. And he'll come up the right wing boards after a feed over there for Corbett. Over the Bronco line right wing. Cassetti holds the line to keep it after he was stripped. Here's Dasky, far circle for Miami offensive zone. To the line, Reichquist. Got a fan on a one-timer. 2-on-1 maybe the other way. Over the line, left wing pass Sold. Far circle for him. Trying to stick it through the slot. Nobody home though for Western Michigan. As Fulp, the other guy in that 2-on-1, was too deep for the pass. Puck in the near corner here in the Miami zone with 6:20 left in the second. Hampus Reichquist. Far circle for Cassetti. Sticks it up through the middle. Into the hands now of Scooter Bricky back in the Western Michigan zone. Now Bennett with it, left point. Will rim this one up through center ice. Pass left point, over the line on the left wing for Western Michigan. The play behind the net as it came in there on the shot from Jared White. Far half wall with it is Bennett. Rims it around the boards to the near wing. Poland to the right point for Bricky. His shot goes wide of the net and up to the far half wall. The puck goes as Holland trying to chop it out over the stick there of Western Michigan's Cale Bennett. Back to the line is Bennett with a shot. And a nice blocker save made by Pearson. And it will go out of play off of that with 5:41 to go in the second. There's a good rip there from the line by Cale Bennett, the senior out of St. Louis.
Yeah, and a lot of Western Michigan traffic in front of the net, so a really great job by Pearson to see through that and be able to get his blocker on that puck.
Nearing the late stages here of our second period. Final home game of the year for the RedHawks. Monty Graham and Paul Washington this draw. Back to the blue line. Fiedler's rip was blockered away there by Pearson. And then Silver will stick this one out all the way down the ice into the Broncos zone for an icing against Miami. Just trying to clear it there, and instead a little bit too strong on the attempt. So the draw is back to the right of Pearson. 5:31 to go in the second. Paul Washington, Monty Graham. On the left wing of the Western Michigan offensive zone, to our right. Played back to the line for Joyall's rip. Penalty coming up as Pearson was knocked down in the crease. And an immediate whistle. You got both referees' arms up. He had a shot for the line by Joyall, and he had traffic in front from Western Michigan that knocked down Pearson before that came in. And Paul Washington's going to go to the box. 2 minutes for interference for him as he barreled right over Pearson pretty much on the shot that came in. So Miami to the power play here, Jack, with 5:26 to go in the second.
Yeah, absolutely, and you'd really love to see them score here. I mean, Western Michigan just can't seem to get it through their heads that they're not allowed in the crease and they're not allowed to hit the goalie, and I think a goal here would probably make them understand a little bit better that they should stay away from Ludwig Pearson.
Miami power play that is 0 for 1 on the night tonight. And the drop coming up to the left of Bussy. So RedHawks threw out Casey Gilling in his line with Barbolini and Sladek as forward. Barry and Daschke are the defensemen. On this draw coming up on the right wing of their offensive zone. Gilling in this draw for Miami against Western Michigan's Drew Warad. Clean win for the RedHawks. Back to the right point for Daschke. Slides it far side here for Casey Gilling. Walks it down the half wall to the corner. Played it in front. Barbolini could not get a stick on the pass in front of the cage. Back behind him, Western Michigan net. Barbolini, near wing feed for Barry at the half wall. To the line for Daschke. Top of the far circle, Gilling the wrist shot wide left of the net. It rims around back to the left point. Daschke slides it right wing. Here's Gilling, walks it down the far half wall. Off the boards, back to the line for Barry. Winds up, will shoot it. Top of the far circle, immediately blocked. And a loose puck grabbed by Ronnie Adder, fires it down the ice for Western Michigan.
And this Western Michigan penalty kill is really aggressive. They're streaking out to the puck every time somebody new gets it. So get in the zone, quick passes, and you're going to catch them out of position eventually.
Casey Gilling over the line on the left wing. He actually hit the brakes right on the blue line. Miami will have to regroup here quickly with a minute to go on the power play. Daschke, far circle, slag a shot. Big rebound in front. Couldn't get a stick on that as it's kicked back to the line. Barry middle of the ice here for Casey Gilling. Returns to the middle of the ice for Daschke. Near circle, Barry in front. The one-touch one-timer by Sladek from the slot. Slid just left of the net. And then Barry tosses back to the line. Kept in there barely by Gilling. Daschke to the near circle for Matt Barry. Here in the corner. Lays it up for Daschke at the left point. His wrist shot. Nice blocker save there. Knocking it down was Bussy. And the rebound cleared all the way down the ice by the Broncos.
And a really pretty amazing play earlier in the play by Gilling to keep the puck in the net, in the zone rather. Reached out with one hand, almost looked like a ballerina pirouetting.
20 seconds left in the power play. RedHawks can't get it into the zone as Cassetti was stripped. Puck is kicked back to center on the stick of Alec Mahalik. Plays it right point. Crowder fans on his attempt to get it deep. It's almost taken by Van Oss. Now Adder with it over the middle of the line with 4 to go in the power play. He was played there by Mahalik well. And Alec Mahalik ends up with a puck for Miami as we're back to full strength. Play back at center. Pulling hit there by Cassetti. Van Oss works it over the line on the right wing. Paul Watts was a foot offside, but they didn't call it as he goes back behind the RedHawk net now. Cassetti coughed it up in the circle. With it for Western Michigan. Back to the line. White got the feed for Joyall. Granger working his way through the slot. And now Monty Graham trying to get control, scanning it through center. Lost it as well. And Joyall with it, right wing, and the Bronco line. Slides it over cross ice. White has it with 2:50 left here in the second. And then he was stripped of the puck by Graham over the line on the right wing. Fiedler tosses back for Joyall. Near circle, up ahead for Larkin. Right wing to give and go with Granger. Larkin over the Miami line, then he took it back out of the zone as there's an offside there. Will play on as Joyall right side up the wing. White got control and then Granger to dump in behind the Miami net for the Broncos. Drasner has it there in the corner. Slides it up the near wing boards. Pletzky trying to get it out to center, and he did as Drasner took over. Corbett now with his chance. Slides it over the Bronco line in the right wing, going up against Cale Bennett. Izzy and Bricky tie up for it in the corner. Corbett with it locked up against his skates, works it free. Pletzky's play to the middle, immediately turned over off the skate. Orad with it up through center ice. Now Larkin with a puck over the RedHawk line here on the right wing. Played it on net. Pearson there with a pad save, and it goes off him, up and out of play. Far corner of the Miami zone. With a 1:58 to go in period number 2. Miami 2, Western Michigan 2. Very even game here in Oxford. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. Back out on the ice with 1:58 to go in the second. We're tied at 2 between Miami and Western Michigan. Jack Schmelzinger and Patrick Geshan with you here on Red Hawk Radio. And this face-off here to the left of Ludwig Pearson, as he got a war out in this draw with Matt Berry. And Berry the clean win back behind the net here for Drasner. Slides it far wing. Olmstead up through center ice. Off the skate there at Barbolini. Spins around and plays it to the near corner as Fulp rims it off the boards for Gallant and back to center ice. Russell plays it in as when the glove there was Bussy to knock it down in his net. Left it behind the cage for Fulp. Near wing feed for Warad up through center ice. Let it go off of his stick into the Miami zone. Drasner picks it up here with 90 seconds to go in the second period. Drasner chased by Frank in his own end. Plays this one up too high in the Red Hawk zone where Berry chips it to neutral ice. Olmstead up the right wing, trying to go up against Poland as they chase after it in the far corner. Fulp with it behind the net. Near wing feed for Paul Washy. Kind of coughed it up there at the Bronco line as the puck sticked over to the far side of center ice. Washy back with it in the Western Michigan zone. Will circle around it back. And in the far circle now, the left wing feed to neutral for Aiden Fulp. Tips it off the glass to the far corner with a minute to go here in the second. Daxke rims it around the boards, trying to get it out of his own end. He will pass Glover. Puck all the way back in the Bronco end, though, as they wave the icing in a Fulp and John Sladek foot race. Back to the left point. Daxke's rip. Wide to right of the net. Follett came in at the half wall there to strip it away from Glover. Fulp can't clear from the corner for Western Michigan, as Nye's battling in there as well. Played back towards center ice. Sladek on it here for the RedHawks. Back at his own end. Slides in near circle for Daschke. Up ahead on the left wing, trying to get it to Killing. Poland picked off the pass, and he softly played it in on Pearson from just shy of the Red Hawk line, and a smart cover there made by Ludwig Pearson with bodies coming in. 22.9 seconds to go here in the second.
Yeah, Miami's first priority should be getting into the second intermission with a tie game, especially with this defensive zone draw here. It would be great to see them clear the puck quickly and make sure that they're not losing going into the second intermission.
Cassetti in this draw with Granger. Shots are even at 16 apiece. Clean win RedHawks far side of the zone as Crowder lifts this one out back to center. Bennett with it in his own end up the left wing at the red line. Larkin chips it in back behind the net. Rydquist has it here. Near wing feed for Crowder, trying to get it up the boards. Granger took over as Corbett was in the area. Rydquist with it here, locked up against the boards by Passalt. Rydquist will try to slide this one up the corner, just kind of kill some time here, and does that successfully as the second period over with at Oxford. And through 40 minutes, we're tied at 2. So you got Western Michigan with a pair of goals to start the second period off. Within 6 minutes of the frame starting. And then the RedHawks with a couple answers of their own several minutes later, as we are tied at 2 here after the second. So what are you thinking here, Jack, as we go into the third? Sets up to be a pretty good last 20 minutes of play.
Yeah, it really does, and I just think, like we've been saying the whole game, Miami just needs to play mistake-free hockey, make sure that they're playing good defense, and Western Michigan's going to make mistakes with the aggressive brand of hockey that they play, so play mistake-free hockey yourself, protect the goal, and make sure to capitalize on those Western Michigan mistakes when they come.
Yep. So again, our shots even at 16 apiece here through 40 minutes. We're tied at 2. Take a look at your numbers here in the second intermission, as we just talked about the shots. Power play, RedHawks are 0 for 2 on the night. Western Michigan is 0 for 1. Face-offs, Miami leading that department. They have 21 face-off wins to Western Michigan 17. Block shots are tied at 7 apiece between Western Michigan and Miami. 6 penalty minutes for the Broncos, and 4, of course, for the RedHawks. Again, your out-of-town scoreboard not very active today. This is the only game going on in the NCHC. So Western Michigan and Miami are tied at 2 here. Colgan and Clarkson get underway at 4 o'clock Eastern time at the top of the hour. Bowling Green visits Alabama Huntsville for a 4 o'clock Eastern time start down there in Alabama. And then Northeastern visits Providence for a 7 o'clock start there from Schneider Arena in Rhode Island. So again, tied at 2 after 40 minutes in the final period of the regular season for both of these teams coming up. Final home period of the year for the RedHawks for sure. and it sets up to be a pretty good one between these two old-time rivals, Miami and Western Michigan. 13.5 minutes are left here in our second intermission, and we're back with the third. Stay with us. This is Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. All right, 2-2 our score. Getting ready to start our third period here between Miami and Western Michigan. Final game of the regular season for both of these teams. And who will emerge victorious in it as our intermission clock winds down here in Oxford. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with you here at Steve Cady Arena. All right, Jack, critical third period here for both of these teams. What needs to happen?
Yeah, like we were saying, just need to play mistake-free hockey, play well on your own end, and chances will come with how aggressive Western Michigan plays, especially in their own offensive end, so just need to capitalize on those chances when they come.
Yep. Center ice draw coming up. Rocks move left to right, cross your radio here in period number 3. Casey Gilling, Paul Washy in the draw to the near side for Fulp, and will play this one back behind the Miami net on the dump in. Pearson played it up the wing. Fulp for Phil Nye. Spin around play back to center ice. Sladek was on it there. As this one sticked by Western Michigan, back in on net, and Pearson to cover. 19 seconds here into our third period. So like we mentioned at the beginning there of that second intermission, the shots are even at this point in the game at 16 apiece. And as this draw comes here to the left of Pearson, you got Gilling and Paul Washy in the draw. RedHawks win it, and they're up the right wing. It's John Sladek quickly out of the zone. Takes it in over the Bronco line. Feeds it middle. Nyes was knocked down there in the slot to the boards, and they'll play on.
And Sladek got hooked over there right about center ice, and the referees didn't see that one either. So
Clement plays it over on the far wing for Sladek through center ice. Chips it ahead, went over the Bronco line, but the Rocks in a game up and got a line change. So the Broncos with it, right wing at center, Adder to the cross corner, dump it to the near wing here for Drasner. Around the wing for Russell, back to the far side, Matthew Barbolini with it. For Cale Bennett, tosses back over on the line for Gallant. And down the wing with a shot in the circle, that came off the stick there of White on the right wing. Rocks work it back to center. Over the line left side is Olmstead. Takes it here behind the Bronco net, opens up and looks for a pass. As you got him and Bennett crashing in there in the corner. Gallant with it, rims it around the boards to the far side. It's out of the reach there of Russell. And back to center ice for Drasner. Frank with it behind the net for Western Michigan. Back to the circle for Granger. Granger will take it behind the Red Hawk net and hit the brakes. Barry takes over there for Russell near wing. 18:22 to go here in the third. Cross ice look for him over on the far side, out of the reach of Joyal. As he was looking for Barry, Joyal actually got a piece of it. And it's played up to center ice after Bussy had it behind his net. White with it, Bronco line, chips it over the wing into the Red Hawk zone now. Puck squirts up in the air behind the Red Hawk net as Crowder leaves it to the corner for Barry. Crowder with it here behind the cage. Left wing feed for Corbett. Through the middle, Fiedler tosses back for Joyal. Our side with the puck, over the line is White. And he copped it up, coming into the zone. Corbett with it now in the Miami end. And he'll skate it up through center over the Bronco line right wing. Corbett upended there as White laid a nice hit to strip him from the puck. Joyal sends this one back to center ice. Corbett spin around move left wing at the red line and play it back behind the Bronco net. 2.5 minutes here into the third period. With it is Joyal. Near corner for Adder. He kind of got separated from the puck there as Cassetti skates it up the near half wall and leaves it back there for Clement. Rome takes over there for Western Michigan, and he'll skate up behind his cage and up around to the near wing. With it is Cassetti, back at center after Western Michigan cleared. Takes it back to his own end. Clement feeds it up through the middle, tipped by Holland right at the red line to cancel the icing as it goes back behind the Bronco cage. Berkey plays it far wing, as Western Michigan works this one back to center. Here's Van Oss over the middle of the line. The shot just wide of the net of Pearson. Graham sticks this one to the near corner as Dashke with it for the RedHawks up the near side. Right wing feed for Silver at center ice. Played ahead here to Bennett in the center circle. Left wing feed over the line is Van Oss to Bennett middle. This one played out to the right point as Bricky with it now for Western Michigan at the half wall. Give and go feed there with Van Oss. A shot there with Poland. High slot knocked down by Pearson. Bennett plays it through the crease for the near half wall just wide. Around the boards it goes for Glover behind the net here for Western Michigan. Little quick play in front, and Pearson will make the cover. We have 16-16 remaining in period number 3.
a really physical beginning of the period for both teams. When you play each other 6 times in a year and every game is competitive, you're really bound to not like each other, and you can see that here between the RedHawks and the Western Michigan Broncos for sure.
So draw to the left here at Pearson. You got Gilling and Paul Washy in it. And one back to center as Adder goes cross ice for Fulp. Played ahead as Passol chips into the far corner of the zone. Russell rims it around from there. In front for Poland, the shot. Nice pad save made by Pearson. As it's kicked back to the far half wall. Drasner trying to stick it up against Poland. Phil Nyes with it. Far half wall. Glove down there by Drasner. Nyes sticks it ahead of the zone of center. Great job by Fulp though last minute to hold the Bronco line, the Bronco offensive line, and keep it deep in the zone. Left wing is Russell, chips this one forward. Fulp knocked it down. Over the line to the left wing, Pat Sold can't get a hold of the feed here for Western Michigan. As this one back behind the RedHawk net now, and Casey Gilling on it for the RedHawks. Gilling plays it middle. Robbie Drasser on it here. Left wing feed for Barbolini at center ice. Back behind the net. It's an icy call. As Barbolini a foot shy of the red line there to knock it in the zone with 15-18 left in the third. And you have a separation. The shot total now 19-16 Western Michigan. A lot more offense for them here in this third period.
Yeah, it would be great to see Miami flip the script a little bit, get a couple shots on Bussy, who looks like he's been fighting the puck all day a little bit.
Next one, the draw to the left of Pearson. Rim it around to the near wing boards. Jack Olmsted on it there. Left to go for Warad to play wide of the net. As Gallant took over, played near side for Fiedler. Back over for Gallant. Let it go as Matthew Berry takes over. A little rush the other way. Berry over the line right wing to the circle. Cross ice. Barbolini trying to go back for Berry. But the pass was behind him. And here come the Broncos. Warad over the line left wing. And they were offside entering the zone as Frank just a foot ahead of the puck there with 14:49 to go in the second. And you got Matt Berry, the RedHawk leading scorer. It's shaken up behind the Bronco net on the other side of the ice, being helped off by Brian Aaron, the referee.
Yeah, and that's not very good. On that cross pass over from Barbolini, it looked like he reached out for it and wasn't able to keep his feet, and I think he slid hard into the end boards. And I can tell you from experience, that does not feel good at all.
14:49 to go in the third. We're tied at 2. Miami and Western Michigan. Quick timeout. This is Miami Hockey on RedHawk Radio. $14:49 left here in our third period. Miami and Western Michigan tied at 2. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with you here in Oxford. As you got Cassetti and Van Ossen as draw neutral ice. Miami right wing closest to their blue line. Clean win for Western Michigan. Adder in the circle. Plays it ahead at the line is Corbett to stick it in his zone end for Hampus Ryquist. Played here by Cassetti. Middle of the ice with it is Rome. Sticks it back behind the Bronco net for Aiden Fulp. Matt Berry, who was injured going into that last media timeout, is on the bench. He's standing up after he was helped off, so just shaking up. Probably the wind got knocked out of him there. So he should be good to go here. Good sign for the RedHawks, their leading scorer. Broncos on a rush. O-line right wing. Rome the shot. Nice chest save made by Pearson out of his crease. Another try came in for the far side by Glover. And Pearson got a save of that one right behind the net. Cassetti up the wing for Glover. As Glover's lost it there for Western Michigan. RedHawks work it back to center beyond. They'll get a full 5-man change with Adler chasing it back behind the Bronco net. 13:50 left here in the third. Adder through center ice, over the Red Hawk line on the right wing. Opens up, sticks it back in the corner. Picking it up there is Poland. Leaves it at the half wall, coming down, a play across by Bricky. In front, they score! Ronnie Adder at the near post. Able to get it past Ludwig Pearson as the puck just kind of took a weird deflection in front. You had the centering play by Scooter Bricky, and then Adder, right place, right time, right on the post. Able to stick it past the outstretched Ludwig Pearson. 3-2 Broncos.
Yeah, and Adder was just right all alone on the back door there. No one really anywhere near him for the RedHawks, and you can't do that with anyone, and especially one of the best defensemen in the NCHC and a Philadelphia Flyers draft pick.
So with 13:37 to go in the third, Western Michigan is back on top. Frank with it below the goal line here for Western Michigan, and behind the Miami net. Broncos work this one back to Barry. Gallant sticks it forward. Up top is Frank, right point for Bricky. Winds up for the slap shot there. It's into the hands of Pearson. As Bricky was top of the right circle there with a bomb, and Pearson holds on in this 3-2 hockey game with just over 13 minutes left in the third.
And that Western Michigan goal is demoralizing, but it's not the end of the game.
Exactly.
Like we've been saying the whole time. This is a team that makes mistakes in the defensive zone. You can score 2 or 3 on them in quick succession. So really this is a game that will not be over until the final horn sounds.
And you got plenty of time left in the period. Face off to the left of Pearson, a false start by the linesman dropping the puck. As Van Haas and Cassetti set up for this face-off. One back here by the RedHawks, working up the near wing, out to center ice. Pletzky stripped there by Bennett. We'll wrap this one in behind the net. Pierce at the stop for the RedHawks, leaves it for Russell. Wrap around the near wing boards. Bennett and Pletzky tie up there. Pletzky up the right wing over the Bronco line. Will stick this one in behind the net. Joyal picks it up for Western Michigan, leaves it for Bennett in the corner. And now Rome up the near half wall will skate it out of the zone for Western Michigan. Right wing feed, over the line is Glover, into the Miami zone. Van Haas far circle, stick to the corner by Drasner. Western to get the puck, they kick it to the line. Joyal's shot just wide right of the net. And then Drasner picks it up to shovel off the glass on the backhand far side. Is back at center ice, but the Broncos take over here. Poland is back for Fiedler, up ahead for Passol. In his own end of the feed over there for Bricky. Slides it through the middle of the ice, off the stick of Crowder at the Red Hawk line. Chases the puck to the corner. And a feed there across the ice for Drasner, who lost it. And it's up on the far wing for Silver. Silver plays it ahead for Poland. We'll kick this one free down the wing. Paul Wash was on it there. Crowder takes it over in the corner. Silver will play it off the glass back to center ice as Adder had it gloved out for Western Michigan, but he was trying to re-enter the zone. And the Broncos offside with 12:02 to go in the third. This off coming up here on the Miami right wing in the neutral zone, closest to their blue line. Through Warad, Casey Gilling will score off in it. Warad clean win back for the Broncos. Fulp across the ice red line for Adder and over the line on the right wing. Plays it middle in a slot with a rip there, just wide right in the net. I don't think Pearson ever saw it.
I don't think he did either.
Adder left point, plays it down for Frank. Near corner, Crowder and Warad crash in. Mahalik giving a shove to Gallant as they join the party as well. Puck work free. Crowder with it behind the cage. Gilling here in the far corner. Skates it up the far boards. Fulp took over there. As you have high in the zone, Gallant trying to stick this one ahead. Frank and Crowder tie up for it, and it's played back to center ice for the RedHawks as Western on the puck. Here's Fulp over the line on the left wing. With it is Frank in the circle. The shot. Nice pat save by Pearson. Kicks it to the far side. Adder's rip. Another good one there by Pearson. Getting in the way of that. As Gilling and Mahalik now will chase it to the near side of the Miami zone, but they were stripped. Frank high in the zone. Adder will skate it through the right circle to the corner. Leaves it back. Ranger on it against Mahalik. Ranger behind his net. Stuck free there by Bray Crowder. With it behind the net for the RedHawks. Far wing feed for Casey Gilling. We'll spin around and lift this one all the way back down the ice into the Western Michigan zone, and an easy call for the linesman to make there. And icing on Miami. Kind of a careless flip down the other way for the RedHawks.
And Ronnie Adder, the 6'4" sophomore from Western Michigan, is really turning it on here. I think he's had 3 or 4 shots in the last 2 minutes. And you can see why the Flyers decided to take a chance on him in the draft. I mean, he's huge, 6'4", and he's a fast kid, really quick. So definitely going to have to watch him if you're Miami whenever he's out on the ice.
He was on my first team NCHC ballot in the preseason as the RedHawks called a timeout here with 10:50 left in the third period after the icing. So both teams have used their timeouts thus far in this 3-2 Western Michigan lead, middle stages of the third. So final home regular season game for the RedHawks today. It's the final regular season game period for both of these teams. Western Michigan closed out their home schedule last weekend or 2 weekends ago, beg your pardon, when they swept Minnesota Duluth. I'm sorry, that's not even right. So they closed out the home regular season schedule on Friday. Broncos did it at Lawson Arena when their 5-2 win over Miami.
And that sweep against Minnesota Duluth 2 weekends ago was really impressive.
Yep.
They only allowed 1 goal the whole time, and we've seen, watching Duluth beat Miami, I believe 5 or 6 out of 6 times they played this year. That's a hard team to beat.
It is.
So a great couple wins by Western Michigan.
So out of the timeout, Western with it in the offensive zone. They stick it behind the net. Ethan Rome on the puck in the corner. Skates it up the wing, back up high in the zone, spin around play. Matt Berry with it here for the RedHawks up the near wing. Will lift it out to center with a lob wedge. Glove down to the circle by Bricky, who plays it right wing at the red line for Rome over the RedHawk line. Rome through the circle, cuts middle, and a play there as the puck was in some skates. Kicked back behind the RedHawk net. Clement emerges with it. Left wing cross ice feed over there for Matt Berry, who stopped at the red line against the boards. Sladek gets the puck, tosses back in his zone end. Clement has trouble here as Poland chases after it with him to the near side. Passel joins the party as well with Derek Taschke as they all join there in the corner, and the puck squirts free behind the net. Berry with it to the far side for Barbolini with 9:55 to go, just past the halfway point here in the third, and Barbolini almost took out 3 minor officials trying to lift it out of the zone up the left wing. As it went out of play in the penalty box with 9:53 to go in the third. All right, so what does Miami need to do here, Jack, in these last few minutes of the third period? Tie this game up.
Seems like they've had a little trouble breaking out of the zone so far in the third period, so would definitely like to see them clean that up, make tape-to-tape passes more cleanly. And I think that would help go a long way to scoring this tying goal.
Yeah, agree with you on that one. Feels like it's been in their zone the entire third period. Western Michigan with it in the offensive end here. Gallant, far half wall, skates it down to the corner, dishes back, and a shot there is off the stick of Passel. RedHawks work this one out of their own zone after they block that down. Fiedler with it left wing at the red line. Plays it in the skates of Gallant, his old man in the center circle. Joyo back with it in the Bronco end, long feet ahead, stretching it ahead of Van Oss, who is standing at the middle of the RedHawk line and went in on Pearson to wave the icing off. Miami with it now far half wall their own end. Taschke plays it through center. Cassetti with it over the middle of the line, through the circle, and watches this one go to the corner as he tied up down there with Folk. Strasser played this one up ahead. Pletsky with it in his own end for the RedHawks. Slides it over on the left wing for Rourke Russell. Coming out of his own zone, left wing at center ice. Haddard with it will stick this one ahead for Rome. Rome left wing will shoot it. Nice pad save there by Pearson as it goes to the far side. Russell will grab a hold, and Haddard will take this one out at center ice. Gilling plays it forward. Drasner, left wing at the red line, plays it back behind the net. Bussey has it for Western Michigan. Around the boards he goes to the right point for Poland. As Gilling sticks this one up ahead, plays this one back into the Miami zone. Pearson leaves it there for Crowder. Spin around play to the far corner. Ryquist played it ahead. Nyes in the circle. Bricky has it. Left wing feed for Passel. Coughed it up near side in front of the benches. Now Bennett gives it up for Gilling as Paul Washy and Passel tie up for it. Washy over the line left wing. We'll get it off the skate there. Crowder on the centering feed. Gets it back at the half wall and played it across the crease. Bricky has it here far half wall. Back behind the net. Ryquist strips Passel free of the puck as he's up the far boards with it. Passel spin around move. Back behind the cage to the near corner. Bennett on it there for Western Michigan. Ties up with Jack Homestead as Paul Washy and Casey Gilling will tussle for it below the Miami net. And Gilling emerges with a puck, feeds it in front of his cage. Phil Nye is able to get it out from there. And up the left wing through center, Reichquist cannot beat Frank on a race as the puck now behind the Western Michigan net. Bennett with it near corner. Cale Bennett off the high glass, back to center ice. Orad gave it up for Gallant over the Red Hawk line left wing. Corbett separated him from the puck there. And Scott Corbett wraps it from behind the Miami net up to the left wing for Dasky and then back in front of the cage for Reichquist. Indirect feed to center ice as Gallant and Corbett collided. The pass was intended for Corbett, but Silver ends up with it over the Bronco line, middle of the ice. Joyle now with it behind the red Bronco cage. As they'll play it to the far corner and stripped there by Silver. At the line is Clement, back behind the net. Graham could not grab it there as he was chased down by Warad. Up to the right point and back to center. This goal is Clement with it back in the Miami zone. Left wing feed, the give and go there with Derek Dashke. Right side play to Pletzky over the line, and this is into the Western Michigan bench as it popped up there with 6:38 to go in period number 3. And the draw coming up at neutral ice when we return from this break. 3-2, the Broncos lead it over Miami. They have the go-ahead goal. You're listening to Miami Hockey right here on Red Hawk Radio. We're back at Oxford, 6:38 to go in the third. Face off on the neutral ice. Western Michigan left wing closest to their blue line. Drew Warad and Matt Berry square off in it. And this 3-2 lead for Western Michigan. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger with you here on Red Hawk Radio. Final regular season game of the year for both of these teams. And the Broncos working up the right wing and they're offside over the Red Hawk line. Play stopped, 6.5 to go in the third. Of course, we did have a little bit of a crowd today. Socially distant, restricted, etc. As each player given 4 tickets to the game today. So let's say about what, 50 people here?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Less than what we've had for other games, but Sunday afternoon. Play here behind the Bronco net as the Redhawks got it deep in their zone. Up the near wing, Paul Washy chips it ahead to center ice. Over the line to left wing, Poland opens up center feed to Washy. His shot got a fan on there trying to go through the middle. Added up the near wing for Western Michigan. Near wing feed for Passolt. Down low. With it is Paul Washy. Spins around there. Played it up through the circle. Gilling chips it ahead to center ice. And with it here is Zayden Fulp. It's the breaks in the circle. Near wing feed past the stick of Passolt all the way down the ice. Icing call here as the puck ends up behind the Miami net against Western Michigan with 5:52 to go in the third. And the draw is coming up to the right of Bussey. Nope, the left.
And Western Michigan has really pulled away in the shots battle. It's now 27-16 in the Broncos' favor.
Good observation. So it was once tied at 16. Does that mean the Redhawks have not had a third period shot yet?
Wow. Compared to 11, so yeah,
Jeez.
not a good.
Haddard with it over the middle of the ice. Western Michigan in the offensive zone. He had an open net, just sticked it wide left to Pearson on the ice. As Pearson took the right side of the net. Frank with it back in the Bronco end, slides it back for Bricky. So Western Michigan out shooting Miami 11-0 in this third period. Bennett plays it ahead, back in the Red Hawk zone. Mahalik stick free from him. The give and go with Crowder in their own end. Mahalik coughs it up though as Gallant with it in the circle, plays it ahead. Over the line right away, Frank for Western Michigan. Stripped to the puck though in the circle. Nice play coming in by Crowder to separate him. 5:10 to go in the third. Mahalik plays it up at the center ice area. Bennett lost it. Middle of the ice, here's Monty Graham over the center Bronco line, and Ricky will stick it behind the Bronco net here into the near corner. Barbolini's on it. Back behind the net to Shovel to the far half wall for Dashke. Lays it back behind the Bronco cage as Barbolini and Bennett will tie up for it there. Barbolini up the far half wall for Miami. Hits the brakes, gives it back to the corner where Graham misplayed the puck. Into the hands of Bricky up the near circle for Frank. And Barbolini will spin around at the red line to keep it in. Until Western Michigan gets a hold and clears it all the way down the ice up the near side. An icing call here with 4:32 to go in the third against the Broncos. And you got a lot of tired players out there for Western Michigan.
Yeah, this would be a good time to get that first shot of the period for the RedHawks here. And I'm a Sabres fan, so this shotless period is giving me flashbacks to a couple weeks ago against the Islanders. The Sabres did the same thing the entire third period.
Draw here to the left of Bussy. I watched that game. That was something else.
Yeah, so did I, unfortunately.
Drazzer with it in the corner, trying to drive through the goal line. The shot there saved by Bussy from a bad angle by Robbie Drazzer. But what the heck, on that play, when you're in the corner and just throw it at the net, make something happen with 4:26 to go in the third. Our final media timeout of this one. Western Michigan 3, Miami 2. You're listening to Miami Hockey on Red Hawk Radio. .426 left in our third period. Patrick Geshan, Jack Schmelzinger back with you here in Oxford, Ohio. Western Michigan leads it 3-2 over Miami. Broncos trying to get the series sweep in the final regular season series of the year for both of these teams. Draw coming up to the left here is Scooter Bricky. Paul Washy and Matt Perry tie up in the draw, and Washy makes the clean away back for Fulp to the corner, plays it all the way back down the ice along the far boards, and an icy call here early on against Western Michigan. 4:19 to go in the third. That's about, what, their fourth icing in the last 2 minutes?
Yeah, it is. It's funny. Maybe they're getting tired, which could be good for Miami. And it's interesting. It's not every game you see that the shots and the goals are directly proportional. 27-18, 3-2.
Math. There you go. Paul Washy here in this draw to the left of Bussy with Casey Gilling. Haddard with it behind the net, so the Rex will need 9 more shots with that ratio to get a goal. Here's the last 4:10 of the third. Western offensive zone. Washy's shot just wide of Pearson.
Just going to say, I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, Patrick.
Paul Washy crashes it for it. Far half wall for Western Michigan in their offensive zone. Back behind the net for Drazzer with Russell. Up the far wing for Ronnie Haddard. Closed off there by Gilling. Lifts it out to center with a lob wedge. Back into the Broncos zone as Fulp chases it down to the corner. He and Nyes tied up for it. And coming away with the puck, Miami. Cassetti in front. What timer there by Gilling. Pat save made by Bussy to the far corner. Clement to the near wing. When the shot there from the line. Rebound in front as the initial pat save by Bussy. Nyes got his left-handed forehand on the puck and slid it in. Bussy the pad save and the cover with 3:33 to go in period number 3.
And these Broncos really are looking a little tired here in the last 5 minutes of this third period. They haven't all game. You wonder maybe the bus ride or maybe 2 p.m. start on a Sunday, which is just weird. Maybe that's getting to him, but would love to see Miami capitalize.
Yeah, they came in yesterday afternoon, arrived around 4 o'clock local time here in Oxford, and they had the evening. But it is second game in 3 days. Face off to the left of Bussey, clean win Western Michigan, work it out to center ice. Dashke left wing at the red line, rims it around the boards to the near side, near corner. Fiedler first to it for the Broncos. Frank behind the net for Joyal. Gallant ties up for it there as the puck squirts back to center ice. Rush the other way, over the line right away. Or at top of the near circle, the shot there was sticked away. And on Pearson, who makes the cover against his left pad. Little weak one against the ice. And a stop made by the Miami netminder with 3:10 to go here in the third.
Great back check there by Scott Corbett. He was able to catch up to Ethan Frank and tie him up. And we know from experience Ethan Frank is a prolific goal scorer. So great job to take him out of the play on what was a 2-on-1 and turned into a 2-on-2.
Van Osten burying this draw to the left of Pearson. Back to the right point. Joyal works it down low. Reichquist tied up for it there for half wall and gets it out to center on the cross ice feed. Right wing Pletzky. And RedHawks were offside as Pletzky went into the zone and then dropped past it back for Barry, who was outside, and he entered in. 2:58 to go in the third. Neutralized truck coming up. As you have 2:58 now remaining in the third period. Shots led by Western Michigan, 27-20. Trying to get the series sweep this afternoon. Left point with it is Crowder for Miami, the offensive zone after the RedHawks win the neutralized truck. Crowder doing a good job to keep this puck in with his left skate as Rome is trying to jam it out off the boards. Eventually Western gets 3 players in there to get it out past Crowder, and it's at center ice. Miami quickly works it over the left wing into the Broncos zone behind the net. Bussey with it, trying to clear it up the half wall, blocked down by the body of Matt Barry, but Western grabs control from there and lifts it out to center. Corbett give a go feed with Reichquist, back for Crowder in his own end. And then Barry get the feed left wing at the red line to dump it in again behind the Bronco net. Far corner it goes. Bennett crashes in there with Barbolini. Puck up the near side. Western Michigan clears this one out. Van Ost cross ice feed over the line right away. Pass Sold. Hits the brakes in the circle. Played it middle and Barry sticked it behind his own net. Got it away from Poland, who was coming down the middle looking for the one-timer. Western Michigan still in the offensive zone. Pass Sold far corner with 1:55 to go in a 1-goal game. He'll play it in front. Nobody there to grab it for the Broncos as it slides to the far half wall. Clement plays it ahead. Haddard right point for Fulp. He is knocked down by Nyes, top of the near circle. Penalty coming up for the RedHawks, who will be shorthanded for the remainder of regulation. 1:43 to go in the third, and the team captain heads to the box for 2 minutes with the RedHawks down 3-2. Tripping is the call, and the Western Michigan power play will get a shot here. So draw coming up to the left of Pearson. And a Bronco power play that's 0 for 1 on the day, but again, just to remind you, 4th best in the NCAA at 29.2%. Also number 1 power play in the NCHC. They win it cleanly. Center of the blue line is Joyal. Plays it top of the far circle. Warad back for Joyal. Down low. Drasser sticked it to the far corner. He'll play this one out back to the right point. Joyal keeps it in. Warad with it at the half wall. He will toss this one back for Corbett, and Scott Corbett up through center ice, over the line on the right wing. So they'll have Pearson come to the bench, 6-on-5, or 5-on-4 rather, for Miami. 5-on-5 actually, with the power play going on. Drasser went into the corner, left it there for Scott Corbett with 1:07 to go in the third period. As they tie up for it near corner here in the Western Michigan zone. Gilling emerges with a puck. Left wing feed for Russell. Back for Gilling, top of the near circle. Drasser the give and go with Gilling. Slides it across. Russell in the corner. Has it here for the RedHawks. Mark Russell, spin around move, back behind the net. Bricky tied up there with Scott Corbett. Graham emerges with a puck with 45 to go in the third. Slap shot. There came from the line. Rebound. Corbett couldn't handle it as the initial one came from Russell. Gallant can't get it out. High in the zone for Western Michigan. Russell holding the line against the boards left point. And we get another whistle here. I believe number 13 in black for Western Michigan, Drew Warad, was down there far half wall of the zone, and he's slow to get up. He's skating to his own bench on his own power, but that's why they blew the plate in, I believe.
I don't know why the draw is outside the zone.
Well, that's what I'm saying too. It's back in neutral ice. As Western Michigan caused that stoppage. Miami bench really isn't making much noise.
Yeah, maybe we must have missed something, because I'm sure that Chris Bergeron would be absolutely furious if it really was just an injury.
Maybe it was offside. Haddard with it behind his own net, feeds it ahead. Paul Washy breakaway with a net-to-net, and he will score. He was cherry picking at the Miami line that whole time. A nice look by Haddard from behind his cane, sliding up through center ice through everybody. Technically a power play goal there for Western Michigan, as Washy got the breakaway with the empty net, and it's 4-2 Broncos with 20 seconds to go in the third. So it looks like Western Michigan's going to get the sweep in this series. Center ice draw one by the Broncos. Fault played it ahead. Here comes Mahalik over the line, middle of the ice. And go there as this one played back for Casey Gilling. We'll take it behind his own net here in the RedHawks' final home game of the season. A second to go, and that is going to do it this afternoon from Coggin Ice Center. 4-2 the Bronco lead over the Miami RedHawks. Western Michigan has won 4 in a row, and they had 3 points in their column, jumping to 5th place in the NCHC at 33 on the season. RedHawks falling today. They will finish the regular season with 18 points in the NCHC standings. And with CC a game in hand on the RedHawks, good chance that Colorado College, if they beat Denver next weekend, would jump to 7th, and Miami would finish with the 8th seed this season. As the RedHawks and Broncos with their stick taps there and neutral ice in this 4-2 loss for Miami on a Sunday afternoon at Coggin Ice Center to finish the regular season for both of the squads. Western Michigan in the regular season series between these two will go 2-1-1 against the RedHawks, so they win the rubber match here in the regular season series between these two. And Jack, look, the RedHawks brought it even after an early 2-0 lead by Western Michigan. It was 2-2 in the second period, but now 4-2 Western Michigan with a win. What happened there in the third?
Yeah, the RedHawks, I mean, they got outshot like we said. It was 11-0 at one point. I think it ended up 12-5, so they put it on there at the end. Just a tough game for them. Not the best offensive effort. But on a good note, RedHawk fans have a lot to be excited about. There are a lot of freshmen on this team, Ludwig Pearson, for example, and guys like Robbie Drasner and Matthew Barbolini. You know, they're playing big minutes at the end of the game with less than 2 minutes left and in a one-goal game. So it's not every team that gets to throw their young players into the fire like that. So these guys, by the time they're seniors, they're going to be seasoned veterans, and they're going to really know what's going on and be good players for the RedHawks here.
Yeah, and as you look to the future, and of course Chris Bergeron's still trying to get his players into the mix. You still have a lot of, you know, your senior class this year is part of the old coaching staff, your junior class as well, and so getting that sophomore, freshman class next year really acclimated will be huge for Chris Bergeron, and he'll have 3 of his recruiting classes in next season with the junior class, the sophomore class, and the freshman class. So his coaching staff working hard, just trying to recruit the right kids and get the old ones, if you will, out of here. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but again, it's a different coaching staff trying to coach against a different coaching staff's players, and obviously that just causes some problems, and it has these last few years for the RedHawks. So 4-2 the Bronco win this afternoon. What are your final thoughts as we go toward the playoffs and look ahead a couple of weeks from now? RedHawks probably will be playing on Friday in Grand Forks. I believe that's March the 12th. So they're going to play, let's see who's first and second in the conference right now. It's going to be North Dakota, who won the Penrose Cup last weekend with their sweep of Omaha. They clinched the #1 seed. So it's either going to be them, and then the second seed is St. Cloud State and Minnesota Duluth who are contesting for that one. So you're going to play one of those top 3 teams in the nation right there, North Dakota, St. Cloud State, or Minnesota Duluth. They're not top 3 in the nation, but some of the top teams in the nation. What are your thoughts as we look forward here to the playoffs for the RedHawks, and obviously not great chances in that first round?
Right, yeah, it's going to be tough if they're playing North Dakota, especially. St. Cloud State, we've seen that they can beat them, but again, that's a really good team. But, you know, it's fitting that this is going on in March. It's a little March Madness thing. Any team in the NCHC is good enough to win 3 games in a row against any other team. So I'm not saying it's going to happen or that it's even probable or anything more than possible, but you never know.
You never know. That is the saying as you go throughout the playoffs in college hockey and whatever sport you might follow. You never know. That's why they play the games, right?
Absolutely.
So, Jack, great to have you on this season. We'll continue it next year. Hope you had fun.
I did. Can't wait for next year.
Awesome, and that will come next October. The RedHawks will open up their regular season. I looked at the schedule the other day. I shouldn't be saying this on the air, but they're going to play Ferris State at home in October. They're going to play Long Island University at home next fall, and I believe Michigan State comes here. Or they go to Michigan State next year. Michigan State comes the following year. So there will be some different non-conference opponents in October next year. This season will get going pretty quickly at home in October when we reach next fall. But that's it for Red Hawk Radio Hockey broadcast. Until then, as the Red Hawks go to North Dakota for the playoffs in a couple of weeks. And again, your 4-2 loss for the Red Hawks against Western Michigan tonight here on the ice in Oxford. So for Jack Schmelzinger, the rest of our great Red Hawk Radio crew behind the scenes working hard to make this possible, Patrick Geshan saying so long and good night here from Oxford, Ohio. 4-2, the Red Hawks fall, finished the regular season off with a 5-17-2 record. The Miami RedHawks do. Until next fall, everybody, for hockey here on Red Hawk Radio, thanks so much for listening. Please have a great rest of your Sunday and have a great week as Miami falls 4-2.